So, I get asked this all the time, and I can always hear the frustration behind it when someone asks, how long until my marketing actually starts to work? They're usually expecting some sort of clear number when they ask this. 30 days, 60 days, even 90 days is what's expected. And it's something that they want to circle on their calendar and then finally relax about. But here's the hard truth that most agencies won't say out loud, but I'm going to. Marketing doesn't start working when you hit a certain number of days. It starts working the moment your messaging becomes clear. Not when you post more, not when you add an extra platform into your plan, not when you boost something with an ad. It's when people finally understand what you do, who it's for, why it matters. That's when things move forward. Stick around because by the end of this video, you're not going to be guessing when your marketing starts working anymore. You'll actually be able to predict because we're going to go over step by step how to make it work. So, your marketing doesn't fail. Unclear messaging does. One of the biggest myths in marketing is that it just takes a long time. But that's not really true. Clear marketing works surprisingly fast. Unclear marketing is what drags on for forever. I've seen accounts post for months, sometimes even years, with no traction, no inquiries, and no momentum. And it's not because they weren't being consistent or working hard at it. It's because people couldn't immediately tell what their business was about. So when someone lands on your content, their brain is scanning for a level of clarity. They're asking, who is this for? What problem does this solve? Is this actually relevant to me? If these aren't instantly answered, they're not going to stick around long enough for your marketing to work. Marketing, it does not convince people to buy your product. It reveals the relevance of your brand. And that's sometimes why timelines just feel off. People measure time and not clarity itself. So, there are multiple timelines, and most people watch the wrong ones when it comes to marketing. Here's when things really start to click. Marketing does not move on one timeline. It moves on multiple ones at once. Most people only pay attention to the visibility side of it. Reviews, reach, a follower count. Visibility is really just the surface layer of everything. Trust is what actually moves people closer to buying. And that action only happens once trust exists. So you can be visible without being trusted. And you can also be trusted without being seen as much. Which one do you think is better? Yeah, but you can't convert without having a level of both of them. So when trust is missing, your marketing is going to feel painfully slow, even if you're doing everything right. So why does marketing feel slow when your trust is missing? This is the part that most people don't want to hear because it kind of hurts their feelings. But if your audience doesn't yet see you as clear, consistent, and helpful, time alone is not going to fix that problem. You can post every single day and still feel invisible if your content doesn't build familiarity with your client base. The moment trust starts to form with your business, that's when everything changes. Messages, they get warmer. Responses are going to get faster. And decisions are going to happen with less friction, which means more money for you and your business. Your marketing, it's not going to suddenly speed up. Basically, it finally unlocks. And that's why asking how long does marketing take is usually the wrong question to be asking. Yeah, when people ask about timelines, this is what they're really asking. When is my content going to stop feeling random? Here's your honest answer to that. If your messaging is unclear, marketing can take forever and still feel unpredictable. But if you make your messaging clear, you're going to see movement. Unfortunately though, if it's inconsistent, it's going to come in waves. When your messaging is clear, consistent, and aligned with the real problem, things are going to start moving much faster than you originally expected. This isn't luck. It's clarity needing a level of repetition. But there is still one piece that people love to skip with all of this, and that is being consistent. So this is the part of marketing that no one wants to hear. Consistency. Marketing is compounding, but compounding only works when something is repeated long enough for it to stick. The accounts that look like overnight success They weren't doing something magical. They were doing the same thing for long enough that their audience finally understood them. Consistency isn't about posting constantly either. It's about reinforcing the same message in different ways over time. This, in short, is how trust accelerates. And once trust accelerates, timelines and what's expected for your business begin to shrink. So why does some content speed things up and others don't? Not all content moves trust at the same pace. Some content builds understanding really quickly for a page. Some content takes a little bit longer to land. Content that feels human, clear, and directly tied to a real problem speeds things up quickly. Content that's vague, extra heavy, or emotionally flat typically slow things down. The more your content feels like a conversation instead of an announcement is the faster that people are going to connect with you in your business, which is why your messaging will finally click. So, what happens when the message finally hits with your target audience? This is the moment people describe as suddenly things are working. But it's not sudden, it's actually cumulative. When your messaging aligns with your audience, you're gonna notice a shift in patterns. Your engagement rates are gonna change, questions are gonna become more specific, your DMs are gonna feel warmer, and decisions with clients are going to happen faster. In short, marketing only feels slow when you're guessing about what you're doing. But when you understand your audience and your audience understands you, your market is going to respond really quickly. So, how to think about marketing timelines realistically. Marketing is not instant, but it's not random either. There's a pattern for how audience respond once clarity and consistency are in place. First comes understanding. Then they're gonna trust you. Then you're gonna have predictable actions from your client. When people understand that marketing follows phases, they stop panicking and start building out their plans strategically. So, in short, when does marketing actually start working? The real answer to this isn't a number. Marketing starts working when your message is specific, your content is consistent, and your audience understands exactly how you help them. If you want faster results, you do not need more volume. You need to be clear. And this is what shortens that trust timeline. This is what accelerates momentum and brings in more clients faster. Because marketing isn't slow. Unclear marketing is. But when marketing is clear, it doesn't just work faster. It works predictably and helps your business grow. So as you implement these steps, be sure to like, follow, subscribe, all of the lovely things, and keep up with all the other questions that we'll be going through that will help you understand how to grow your marketing, how to make it predictable, and how to build a strategy that is actually going to work for your business long term and not drain you. As always, we're building together, so if you have any questions, drop them below. I will do my best to answer them as soon as possible, and see you next video.